Let us start off with fighting's mainstay. Its director, Dito Montiel. That's right. Dito Montiel. Do you know who that is? You probably wouldn't. Dito Montiel is actually kind of a newcomer in this arena of filmmaking, cesspool of filmmaking, whatever, that Hollywood has been spewing out to its moviegoers as of late. Dito Montiel is kind of a newcomer behind the camera. However, in front of it, Dito Montiel has in his amazing collage of acting, Bullet for Breakfast. Bullet for Breakfast. Do you hear that sound? That's the sound of crickets not caring enough to make sound. Yes. However, Bullet for Breakfast does sound quite delicious. Delicious, in fact, enough to be a cereal. And wouldn't you know, I happen to have a box of Bullet for Breakfast right here. That's right, folks. 100% of your daily requirement of delicious nonsense with whole grain oats. I'm returning that tomorrow. He's one half of the writing team of this film. The other half is Robert Munich. Once again, Robert Munich. Nobody really cares. However, Robert Munich does have a little bit of time behind the camera with his writing, but more so in front of it, just like Dito Montiel. Except Robert Munich starred in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Strength behind this film must come from the actors. Starting us off is our protagonist, starring the Channing Tatum as the protagonist Sean MacArthur. First off, Sean MacArthur is not a name you should be really worried about right now, but Channing Tatum, you know Channing Tatum. We all know Channing Tatum. We saw him in his outstanding roles, such as Step Up 1, and Step Up 2, and Stop Loss. Folks, I don't think I can go any further with this, but it has to come out. Channing Tatum is going to be using his step up and stop loss skills paired with his fighting talent as the role of Duke in G.I. Joe's next. Hold. Strong. Is actually Sean MacArthur in this film, our sterling protagonist who is first featured carrying a blue turban-like sack above his head. As he ventures through the dangerous subways of New York, he is spied going near Radio City Music Hall by the ever-amazing Terrence, how did he get in this film, Howard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Terrence Howard. You may know him from such exciting movies as Idlewild, and my personal favorite, Iron Man, which unfortunately, news has it, he's been taken off from when the sequel comes out. But after seeing his choice in this film, you probably know why. Terrence Howard plays Harvey Borden. That's kind of bad foreshadowing considering you're going to have a lot of Borden in this room in the theater. Yeah, it's that bad. Terrence Borden sets up a trap for Mr. Sean MacArthur, and he falls for it. That's right. Sean MacArthur is actually selling bootleg iPods and bootleg copies of Harry Potter and the Hippopotamus. I'm sorry, that can't be right. Hold on. Harry Potter and the... Harry Potter and the Hippopotamus. Harvey Borden, of course, takes Sean MacArthur, hook, line, and sinker, but as fate would have it, after grabbing some nifty umbrellas to sell on the side of the road, because as we all know, we don't need iPods and Harry Potter versus the Hippopotamus. No! We need to get out of the rain. Or the storm that's coming out of this one. I'm not going to curse. I'm sorry. Again, Harvey Borden is met up with Sean MacArthur in a diner scene. where this brave-seeming antagonist, Harvey Borden, begins to almost prostrate himself at the feet of our protagonist. And a mighty protagonist he is. He must be eating bullets for breakfast. It's getting old, isn't it? Yeah, I figured. Well, Sean MacArthur is presented with Harvey's amazing offer. How would you like to make $5 grand in New York City? You can make that practically selling pizzas. It's not that difficult. What is this movie set in the 1950s? Show in his acting prowess somewhat that Sean MacArthur is a tough, roughneck kind of guy who, regardless of the fact that he sounds like he doesn't quite even have a full middle school education, went to college. Makes me feel like I have a doctorate in everything. It seems that Sean and Harvey have a good scheme coming up, but Sean falls in love with probably the 31st prettiest Hispanic actress that they could have possibly come up with. The actress's name is Zulay Henao. Yes, Zulay Henao, who plays the character Zulay Velez. Well, anyway, the love interest Zulay, whereas she's pronounced in the movie Zulay because it rhymes with July, becomes the would-be love interest who tries to get away from, as she coins, Sean the Stalker, after he tried to sell her a copy of Harry Potter and the Hippopotamus. We keep coming back to this, I'm sorry. We're going to return now. But Zulay is not the only interest. No, Sean, when he's at the club after his first victory, locks eyes with the meaty, delicious antagonist. That's right. The antagonist is played by Brian J. White, Evan Haley. That is right. This man may have 2 first names, one of a guy and one of a girl, but he can beat up everyone. That's right. Why? Because he is the bad guy. He's the one who knows how to talk. And when he talks, he lets you know how it's going down. Important things that a film has to offer. 1. Character development. 2. Plot. 3. Dialogue. And 4. The true skill of the acting. Character development. I got to know my sister and her boyfriend a lot better. Absolutely. By the end of that film, we were so much on a plot. Well, part of the plot revolves around Sean MacArthur's shady past, having to do with his father and the connection with the evil Evan Haley. We get bits and pieces, but most of the time I'm kind of feeling like I'm putting together an Xbox 360 with my hands tied behind my back. Now, the love sequence within the plot is probably one of the least convincing roles. In the beginning, the girl shows little to no interest, but somehow at the end is willing to give in all of her life to go with this man. I don't get it. It's never once explained. Dialogue. For a teenage crowd, it's near as close to serious without even coming close. It's something that Buffy the Vampire Slayer would actually be very, very disgusted by. Josh Whedon would never have allowed this to happen. But it seems as though the writing team of Montiel and Munich seem completely content with this happening. Acting. I'm not going into it. No, 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 no.